Well, for people who are familiar with Doom or Doom 2, the originals, we basically sort of, for Doom 3, we pretend they didn't happen. It's, you can think of it as a retelling of the original. So the year is 2145, and you're a Marine who's sent to Mars as part of a security detail. When you arrive, you arrive to UAC base prior to the invasion from Hell that sort of operates like a futuristic science research station in space. Pretty soon after your arrival, you're sent off on a routine security mission, basically to track down a scientist who's gone missing. And while you're away on that, literally, that mission, literally all hell breaks loose, and you're sort of left by yourself to try to get back in touch with the other Marines, stay alive, kill the demons, find out what happened. The game is, told on a story as a narrative as you progress through the game, start to finish. One of the things we did at the outset of development is hire a professional science fiction novelist to write the story with us, and then we went from the story that we worked to create with the novelist to storyboards. And then the game was built off the storyboard, so it basically follows through start to finish as a narrative as you go through and sort of experience what the game is like.
I see here that Sergeant Kelly has requested your immediate attention. Head directly to Marine Command.
On Doom 3, I mean, it has a pretty rigorous system requirement configuration on the PC, and so the Xbox, the big difference, the biggest substantive difference was the limitation on the memory, where you're at 64 megs of memory on the Xbox versus I think we were at 256 megs minimum on the PC version of Doom 3. So the full story is there in the Xbox, but it's sort of what I like to say is it's told in thinner slices of gameplay because you just couldn't put the same size of levels in the PC and on the Xbox, and we didn't want to cut stuff out, so we just have more levels. So they were split, not necessarily 50-50, but at intelligent places where there were places where you could sort of separate the game.
Attention UAC personnel. Interested in earning more credits? Volunteer at Delta Labs today. See your service branch director for more details.
John Carmack had always identified the Xbox platform as one that would be full visual impact. And so our goal from an engineering standpoint of the project is to realize what John thought it would be from the outset, which was full visual impact. So all the lighting and shadowing being in real time is there, all the bump mapping is there, the physics is there, and of course we can use the onboard native sound chip for the 6-channel surround sound, or actually on the Xbox it's actually Dolby Digital. We did lose a few things that we had on the PC in bringing it over to the Xbox. One of the examples of that is that we don't have per polygon hit detection. Generally, people on the Xbox, just because of the controller, if nothing else, doesn't have the same degree of precision as you have playing with a keyboard and a mouse, and so the fact that it doesn't detect an individual polygon hit location isn't as important, and to the relatively small single-digit percentage people who could probably actually tell a difference, it's not going to have a substantive impact on the gameplay for those guys.
Marine, this is Sergeant Kelly. You need to double time it down there. Search your assigned area and haul your ass back to Mars City.
On the other side is that we wanted to add some things to the experience as well. So, for example, there's the cooperative campaign is in Xbox Doom 3. That was something that actually was created internally at id. It's not the full single-player game, start to finish, but it's more like a sort of a director's action highlights reel of how the game progresses. So we de-emphasize the story and more emphasize the action, because that's what we think is sort of one of the more fun aspects of, that's what's cool about co-op, if you will. The special limited edition version, we have included both the full retail release of Doom, which was actually called the Ultimate Doom, and Doom 2 on the disc as well, and you can play through both of those games, full games, in single player, and we've also included all the multiplayer modes, deathmatch and co-op, and on those you can play not only over System Link and Xbox Live, but you can play on up to 4-player split screen. We were actually introduced to Vicarious Visions by Activision, and we were happy with the decision, and I think that they did Vicarious did an excellent job. you know, the massive amount of media that the game displays, just in terms of, you know, the bump mapping and characters and all the textures that are going on, and to be able to fit that into a fairly limited memory configuration was a pretty big challenge. And in terms of what we contributed to it, the one thing we're going to say, okay, id did this, is the cooperative campaign was completely created by id. But there's really not any one area that we didn't have, you know, some input on. I mean, of course, obviously creating the original game was you know, huge in terms of the development of the console version. But you know, guys did animation for cinematics. We had our programmers help out when they got to you know, some conundrum on the programming, and lots of different areas as well.
I can't believe it's come to this. I didn't want to come here.
He left you no choice.
True, but this is the last time. I'm tired of running damage control every time he makes a mess.
Right. You're the control. And if that fails, I'm the damage.
If that's what it takes, the Kruger is going to start doing things our way.
Whatever you say,